Oh, hey y'all. Just wanted to take a few minutes and talk to y'all and fill you guys in on some of the stuff that's been going on here around the farm. I know most of the videos that we've done lately, it's always me either talking to the cows or dealing with one of them in one way or the other. So I figured I'd just take a few minutes when I don't have to deal with one of them and just touch base with you guys. Let's see, first off, the hay. We've got 8 rolls left. And I'm trying to burn through it fairly quick without wasting a whole lot. Because we're going to be getting our new hay in here pretty soon, next month or two. So we got to have room in the barn to be able to put the new stuff. Scored some plastic pallets off a guy a couple of counties over. The worst part about hay is being able to keep it dry. And normally you put it up on pallets or something like that to keep it off the ground, because if it sits on the ground, it'll absorb the moisture from the ground. And we normally use wooden pallets, but after a year or two they just start rotting away and it becomes such a mess. So hopefully these plastic pallets that I got will last for 5 or 6 years, and won't have nearly as much trash to worry about. But once they start cutting, we're going to be getting about 80 rolls brought in. That ought to be more than enough to get everybody through fall and winter this year, and in the spring next year. So, well, let's see. Still need to make repairs on the main barn. Last year we had to do some emergency modifications to it after some of the rolls that we'd gotten in were a little too big for us to be able to deal with. So we still got to put all that back together. This barn down here, it's got the wood stacked in front of it. Right now it's got a manure spreader, tiller, a couple of wagons, log splitter. I got to get those out of there so I can put hay in there. You can't see it, but on the other side of the barn I'm putting up another little pole shed, and that's where all that stuff's going to go. I want to put everything down there to kind of keep it out of the way, and that'll free up this barn for hay and the main tractor, which will be good. I'd like to quit leaving it out in the rain any more than I have to. Oh, let's see, what else? We doubled the size of the garden this year. I got to figuring it out, and we were going through about $70 worth of vegetables each week, feeding Siggy and Ginny and Roger. So we expanded the garden probably twice over, hoping that once we harvest everything, we won't have to buy nearly as many vegetables. The problem is we're going to have some place to put them. And, typically what we do is we'll harvest everything, cut it up into little pieces, and stick it in a Ziploc freezer bag. And, we've got a small chest freezer in the garage. We'll put them all in there. The only problem is we got no room in there. Even with the little garden that we had, that thing would be slam full. So, between our new size garden and the vegetables that we're going to be getting from my buddy Jennifer and her husband Steve, Plus the pumpkins that I get from a farmer down the road. You know, we need to find some place where, you know, we can store them. So we're looking at having to buy another chest freezer. I'd like to go ahead and get a full-sized one. And that way, you know, we can put all the pig food in there, and, you know, it'll stay frozen till we need it, and we'll just go in and pick out a couple of bags as we need it, you know, and that'll be that. Unfortunately, chest freezers run about $2,000. You know, I know you guys have been donating to the general fund, and believe me, I appreciate that more than I can say. You know, but it was pointed out to me that, you know, a lot of people might donate more, or, you know, would donate for the first time if they knew specifically what it was going towards. You know, because when you donate to the GoFundMe, you know, everybody realizes that it goes towards the animals in one form or another. You know, whether it be for hay or feed or fence repairs or, you know, something like that. But I've never really been specific about, you know, this is what I'm using the money for this week. So now that we need the chest freezer, I figured it would be an opportunity to go ahead and give you guys a specific goal that we have. So I went ahead and set up a GoFundMe just for the chest freezer. I'll put the link at the top of the page in the description. You know, if anybody wants to help out, as always, I would appreciate it greatly.